Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us for Firstbeat Live virtual launch. My name is Riikka Lamminen, and I'm the Marketing Communication Manager at Firstbeat Technologies, and today I'm also your host at this virtual event. A little housekeeping before we get started. So there was an opportunity to test your device settings beforehand, so hopefully there won't be any technical problems. However, if some problems do occur, we recommend you to update your browser or change to another browser. And it's also good to know that all of you will get a recording of this event afterwards. So if some technical issues do happen, no worries, since you are able to see everything afterwards. And there is also a chat service, so I encourage you to send comments and questions for our speakers. That can be done during the event, and then we will go through those questions in the Q&A session at the end of the event. And then we could have a quick look at today's agenda. So first, our CEO, Joni Kettunen, is going to tell a bit about Firstbeat and then why Firstbeat Live was created. After him, Toby Murray, head of our international sales, is going to tell about Firstbeat Live more deeply, what are the key elements of it and how does it work. And then we will have a short video about the first user experiences. And after that, Anna de Torres will tell the possibilities of Firstbeat Live for partners and service providers. And after Anna, it's time for our CTO, Ilkka Korhonen, who will tell more about the technology and science behind Firstbeat Live. And then we have Tiina Hoffman, who will demo the Firstbeat Live app and tell about how Firstbeat Live helps everybody to improve their physical and mental health. And then we have the Q&A session. So there is lots to come. Let's get started, and it's time for Joni Kettunen.
Thank you, Riikka, and welcome to the event from my part as well. And I'm Joni Kettunen, CEO and co-founder of Firstbeat. And I'm very glad to see that so many of you are interested to join this launch event today. The purpose of Firstbeat is to provide every individual help in reaching their health and performance potential with confidence that is being backed up by science. This is what we do, and in this context, measurements are being done to teach us how to make changes on our lifestyle, on our daily choices to really help us to develop our well-being and productivity. And we are all individuals. Our physiologies are different, our reactions are different, and our situations change from time to time. And as we have seen this year, for example, so there's a lot of changes in our environment, working environment, and also our health goals change, whether related to stress, recovery, sleep, or starting exercise from time to time. And this is the background why we have developed Firstbeat Live, a new product, new service that provides access to critical physiological data measurements for employee at any time, as things change, and the service can be used to get an understanding on how we are. We at Firstbeat are pioneers in applying physiological data and measurements to make changes in wellness and sports. And we have been working for almost 20 years in the field to grow into a leading provider of physiological insights for sports and well-being. And as of June this year, the consumer licensing division was acquired by Garmin, which means that now at Firstbeat Technologies we can really concentrate on the professional grade products and services for professional sports and for employee wellness. And as of today, we are 80 experts working in this field, and we are having business in more than 40 countries. Our true background is in science, and that's the core. That's very deep on our DNA. And to be frank, I believe science is the only way to make products in this area, because, and really, if it's not based on science and research, so what is it based when we are talking about well-being, health, and sports? And so we develop products based on research. We test the products in laboratory, and we use the data and the results and improve. And this is the cycle we have been doing for over 20 years. 20 years, and as a result of that, we have a very good quality products in this area, and the metrics that we provide for stress, recovery, sleep are something that you can rely on. You can have confidence on, and that's very important to apply them. And we also work with many universities across the world, and there has been more than 100 peer-reviewed academic publications done by the some of the leading universities in the world. So research is very important part of what we are doing. And during the 20 years, we have gained experience in the field, and one area of learning has been from the elite sports, where we empower today more than 1,000 elite sports teams in NBA, NFL, NHL, European soccer leagues, and dozens of national teams. And to be the reliability of the data and product quality is really important in that market, because to be able to apply the data, you really need to trust the data. And similar to that market and that segment, we have gained a lot of experience in employee wellness. More than 400,000 users has been using our first generation products, which is still great, by the way. And that's a lot of significant experience there, and also working with the whole wellness ecosystem there to support the employees. So this is our background, and now we are combining all this information to come up with a new product, Firstbeat Life. And in this service, the employee will get a comprehensive 24-hour picture on their stress, recovery, sleep, exercise habits, and the measurement is available anytime. So basically, employee can get a lifestyle screen at any time they want if things change. And the product has been created to empower our customers, the employee, to use data, gain understanding on their physiology to make changes that make a difference, whether it's for self-productivity or just getting better health in the longer term. And according to feedback that we have got so far from this new product, so the product fits very well of the current working environment with a lot of remote work and the initiatives there, and so this is a very important feedback we have got. And now, getting close to end of my part here, this year has shown us how important health and well-being is for our employee, and that's been a top one priority for us. And I personally believe that this is a turning point here, and as we look at the future, so digital health tools supporting our employee will be as commonly used as CRM systems today in the companies. Thank you.
Thank you, Joni. And we will continue with Toby Murray, who will tell much more about Firstbeat Life in practice and how it supports modern workplace well-being management.
Hello everybody, my name is Toby Murray, and also from my part, welcome to the virtual launch event of Firstbeat Life. As Riikka said, what I'll be talking about today is a little bit about Firstbeat Life for corporate wellness, what it means and how it will benefit you at a business. So as Joni mentioned, even before recent times, we've definitely seen a trend where individuals are expected to work more remotely, having to address fast-paced life, and just get into a situation where they have to work from different places and address an always-on mentality. What we've wanted to do is we've wanted to take that expertise and package that into a service that can help employers support their employees in their current challenges and make data-driven decisions that support your strategic well-being management. So the new way to support your employees' physical and mental well-being is built around Firstbeat Life. It consists of certain elements, different elements, and we still use very much use a device that you wear. So you get in the package you get a personal sensor which you can wear between 1 to 5 days. The difference to our historical solution, the lifestyle assessment, is that you actually upload the information through the device onto our app, which is available on most Android and iOS devices. You will also get the results from that pretty much almost instantaneously into the Firstbeat Life application on your smartphone. So you can then, as an individual, you can look at that data, get actionable insight, not just numbers, and really start making an impact on your day-to-day choices. The changes can be very small. It doesn't matter whether you want to start a new hobby, you've got changes in family dynamics, like getting a child, see how that impacts your life, or you want to be a corporate athlete, you want to run a marathon, do a triathlon. So it fits anyone in any situation. We do offer obviously additional services around that, around personal coaching to help you, support you on that travel and make those changes, but they're not necessary. So you can look and learn from the application itself and really start making an impact on your daily life. We then combine all of that to also provide reports to the employer, because obviously understanding how you operate is very important. And that takes me into what actually is in it for the business. So what we do is we combine the data, obviously in an anonymous aggregated fashion. So what we do is we can look at company score, so showing all the employees information anonymously, to give a company score, what's the overall well-being in the company, how it compares within your industry or other companies. The number of employees in different risk groups, so who are the ones that require attention now, who are the ones who are at high risk, and then obviously there hopefully is the majority of people in the low risk department. What's your perceived work satisfaction? So in addition to your other satisfaction surveys or such, you'll get a spot check in how do employees actually feel about their job at that particular time. And then obviously the employees engage through the Firstbeat Life application to get some more information. You can drill down and obviously start looking at different regions, different teams, see what the dynamics are within your organization. So it shows the average results and longer term wellness trends of different areas. So you can look at the well-being across teams, you can identify what number of employees are at risk, what the different area trends are, and then make better data related decisions based on that. So identify the pain points, focus on doing the right things within your organization. Just an additional note around privacy. So we definitely take privacy very seriously at Firstbeat. So just highlighting that the company or the employer only sees anonymous group level and company level data. So what we do is we always aggregate anonymously the results from the individuals into the reports. No personal data is seen by anyone else without the individual's specific permission. So for instance, if you were to apply coaching as an individual, you would give consent to that particular coach to see your results. What does adopting this look like? So generally speaking, what we would do is we arrange a bit of a kickoff or an onboarding solution. So what we do, we have a FirstBeat live kickoff session where we go through introductory material or have a webinar. We make the staff aware of what we're actually embarking on. That's something that we will definitely help the organization do. The personal devices are distributed to the individuals individually. They download the app through their respective app store, and the subscription is for 12 months at a time. Employees can monitor their well-being independently whenever they want. So there'll be certain quarterly assessment periods for the corporate, but the individual can do as few or as many assessments as they want to do. This is then fed into the advanced FirstBeat Live corporate reporting platform, and that's done once per quarter. All through this journey, you'll have support from our great customer success team, and they'll help you on the journey to understand the data, help you adopt that in your processes as a business, look at how they can combine into different business metrics, and as Joni mentioned earlier, sort of become as important as a CRM or an HR platform is in your organization today. In addition to that, we have an opportunity for personal coaching or group coaching via phone or expert webinars that can be looked at through FirstBeat. So essentially what we do is we want to concentrate on supporting employees, creating an environment in organizations where, irrelevant of where you are and what you do as your work, your employer can support you. Employees get a solution that not only provides data, but actionable insight to develop their life and life choices. To reiterate, it's a subscription-based service. The subscriptions are 12 months at a time to begin with. At this time, we're launching in Europe and UK, but we are looking to broaden our geographical reach as soon as possible. So we hope to open discussions as soon as possible around those particular areas. And essentially, what we hope to do is look at this as a holistic solution to help companies understand their employees, irrelevant of where they work and what they do. That's all the time that I have today. I'd really like to thank you for your attention, and with that, back to Riikka.
Thank you, Toby. Now it's good to remind that if you have any questions or comments for our speakers, please type them to chat box and we go them through at the end of the event in the Q&A session. And now it's time for a short video. So Nugent Sante is a provider of personal and company health insurances and related services. And their managing director, Paul Nugent, had an opportunity to test FirstBeat Live, and he was willing to share some of his thoughts.
Hi there, Paul Nugent here. I'm the Managing Director of Nugent Sante. My company is a partner of FirstBeat Technologies. We offer employee benefit solutions to companies. The main strategy for that is for employee wellness and staff engagement. Now, I've been tasked with wearing the new FirstBeat Life device, which I think is a fantastic piece of kit. You can't even tell you've got it on. So I did a 3-day measurement recently. I do exercise, I do consume alcohol, and I have quite a hectic life. So I mean, I really was really interested into how my heart would perform throughout the daily life, just so that me at 44 years of age know that I'm going the right way, and if there's any tweaks I need to make, then that's something I can do. So great thing being here is that it's all app-based, so you quite simply link up your device to the app, and you know, it asks you various questions about lifestyle, which does actually make you think in terms of what you should be doing, you know, about what you're eating, doing some exercise, because these are all the components of living a daily lifestyle. However, what I do think the great thing about the device does is, you know, it monitors you when you sleep, it monitors you when you're doing high exercise, and it, you know, provides you with a report based on an app. So it's so easy to go into your app, which, you know, can tell you where the plus points are, and you know, where there might be some cause for amendment to your lifestyle to ensure that you continue to live a healthy lifestyle. For me and my business, I do believe that, you know, this is being an employee benefit and wellness provider, that it's absolutely key that employers do something like this in order to prevent illness, ensure you know, the staff absence ratios are very low, and also, you know, make sure that you can identify illness before it happens. And you know, I think heart disease is one of the biggest provider of illness and serious illness and death, unfortunately. So if we can make these amendments to our lifestyle just by wearing a device and finding out how your heart is performing throughout your daily lifestyle, make those amendments to your life, then, you know, we could be a real big contributor to people living longer, healthier, happier lives.
Thank you, Paul, and hello if you're watching this. We will continue with Anna de Torres, who will tell more about the possibilities of Firstbeat Life for our partners and service providers, in addition to Firstbeat Lifestyle Assessment that many of you are familiar with.
Awesome, thank you, Riikka, and welcome to the launch event also from my part. We have many partners following our event, which is great, so welcome on board. And also thank you very much for the questions that you have already sent in advance. So we will go through in this session some of those questions and explain a little bit how we go forward with our partners when it comes to Firstbeat Life. Many of you are using lifestyle assessment already as part of your solutions, and we will at a later stage also offer this opportunity with Firstbeat Life. So let's have a little look at what kind of new benefits there will be available. So first and foremost, Firstbeat Life will be a new addition to your portfolio along with Firstbeat Lifestyle Assessment. And as it is a subscription-based service, which is going to be used for a longer time period, so minimum 12 months, this offers totally new kinds of possibilities for our partners when they concept their own services and solutions using the data that Firstbeat Life enables. The measurement device, so the Bodyguard 3, stays with the employee or your customer on a continuous basis, and this enables a longer-term data for you. And of course, this means new types of service concepts also that you can build around Firstbeat Life. Also, we would like to see this we are creating a new culture when it comes to wellness services and looking also from more that a one-time project to an ongoing service that you can build with your customers. What's also new, or actually the ultimate benefits are, of course, the same as for corporate customers. So this is an effective tool for preventive healthcare and coaching services. Now that the data is received on a regular basis or more long-term basis, it enables you to identify the risks better in advance and also, of course, follow up on the progress based on your actions. And of course, the data, the insights are based on our reliable measurement technology, as what Joni also introduced. So this enables you to make the decisions and feeling confident that the data is accurate and reliable. What is new also compared to lifestyle assessment is effortless logistics. So now that the device, the product package is shipped once to the user's address, there's no need to send it back and forth anymore. And also you will be provided with new tools. So the corporate level reporting that Toby introduced you to is also available for our partners, service providers, who are using this as part of offering when coaching corporate clients. And of course, coaches, healthcare service professionals will have access to the data provided by the users, but always, of course, having the user consent. So no data is being shown without permission. So we follow very clear data privacy regulations. In the future months, we will also be offering the training, so the online courses and modules for Firstbeat Life, as we do now already offer for lifestyle assessment. And of course, support you with materials and marketing support and marketing materials when you start utilizing this as part of your own services. So when is this all available, you are asking? So we will start in phases. So at the moment, the service is offered for direct corporate customers, and we will build the availability in phases for partners who are interested in expanding their offering to a new subscription-based service. We will arrange dedicated webinars and inform with our newsletters in the coming months, so during the autumn and winter, when it's time to get started. And also it's important at this stage to highlight that kind of partners who want to utilize Firstbeat Life as part of their portfolio, but who don't have kind of specific data needs, so-called kind of agent partners, you can start straight away. Again, important to notice that Firstbeat Lifestyle Assessment continues normally as its own product and service. And Lifestyle Assessment is using the Bodyguard 2 device. And Firstbeat Life, the new service, will have a new sensor, Bodyguard 3. And Ilkka will actually explain a little bit more details after me what the new sensor is all about. So again, kind of highlighting, so the Bodyguard 2 devices are being used with lifestyle assessment, and then the Firstbeat Life is using a new sensor. So what can you do now? What are the next steps? So we will inform more about the continuation, so when we can start in action. And please, if you don't already, please subscribe to our partner newsletter. We will communicate about the availability, so please follow that. And of course, if you already are our partner, so please contact your Firstbeat contact person to discuss more about your needs and business concepts and different alternatives. Now it's a very good time to start thinking, how would Firstbeat Life be part of your own services and your own concepts? Because it's such a new and different type of a product. So this also takes a little bit of time. So please, we'll be very happy to start discussions with you and help you also penciling down how this new solution works in your concepts. So please contact us. If you are our new partner, welcome to the Firstbeat network. We'll be happy to continue discussions with you. Take contact via the web form as well. And yeah, as mentioned, so we will dig deeper in the discussions about the different business models that we have available, and also about the pricing. So let's continue discussions, and welcome to the being part of Firstbeat, and welcome to our partner network. All right, that's from my session, and let's continue with the program.
Thank you, Anna. There's certainly a lot to look forward with Firstbeat Life. And now it's time to introduce our CTO, Ilkka Korhonen. He will tell more about the physiological and technological solutions of Firstbeat Life.
Okay, happy to be here. So I will be telling you a little bit about Firstbeat Life and what's behind the scenes and what's behind under the hood, so to say. Especially I will explain a little bit about heart rate variability, and also about our measurement technology, which is behind the technology, so that why it's so reliable and what makes it so reliable and accurate. So first of all, the DNA of Firstbeat is that we strive to understand how the human body works, and we are very committed. Our mission is to become the the most accurate and meaningful insight provider in the wellness space and wellness and health space. And we want to do it in a way that promotes everybody's well-being, health, and performance. And we, in addition to providing analytics, we also package this into different products, which one example is FirstBeat Life. And we are also, in addition to physiology and mathematics, which is required for making this product, we also do a lot of software development, and we increasingly emphasize consumer-grade UX in the professional-grade reliability, which is a unique combination. What our DNA is also, as mentioned by Joni, heavily in science, 20 years of research. We started with the laboratory research, and basically all our technologies, all our analytics, all our measurement devices are validated in laboratory settings, and before we bring them into real life, we have done more than 400,000 lifestyle assessments with employees and further validated that the outcomes and insights what we get from the data are valid, and we also improve constantly. So this is how we work. So let's go to the heart rate variability. So for some of you it's familiar, but for those of you who are not familiar, what is heart rate variability? When you look at the heart's function, when you measure electrical activity of the heart, you can actually see that when you measure the successive pulses or waveforms in the heart's electrical activity, you can see that the interval between successive beats varies when you measure it in the milliseconds accuracy. This variation is called heart rate variability, and it's the key for our technology. What we do with that heart rate variability is related to the background. So heart rate variability is caused by the autonomic nervous system function. Autonomic nervous system is the nervous system which controls our autonomous functions, like respiration, blood pressure, heart rate, and it also mediates our stress responses. It mediates our recovery from physiological or psychological load. It mediates all our that kind of bodily functions. And by analyzing heart rate variability, we can actually get a good insight and good window into the physiology and autonomic nervous system function. And we have developed a digital model which transforms the heart rate variability back to these bodily functions and further on to the doings and non-doings of the individual. And so what we can get from heart rate variability with this digital model is we can detect stress reactions, we can detect when the person is recovering from stress or load, we can detect sleep, exercise, etc. And that is the core of our background of our science there. To measure heart rate variability, we wanted to make no compromises. So our key driver while developing FirstBeat Life was to make it the most reliable heart rate variability-based tool in the business, and that's why we wanted to make no compromises. So that is why we chose to measure ECG with the heart rate variability with ECG, because that is the only method which directly measures the heart rate variability and not just estimate it, unlike, for example, optical methods. They measure variations of blood flow in the vasculature, and that is indirect way of measuring, but that is doomed to be less accurate than ECG-based methods. ECG has also other benefits. For example, it works with everyone. It's not dependent on the anatomy, skin tone, age, or that kind of factors of the users. It is also accurate during action, like exercising, working or something, as well as during sleep and rest. So it works 24/7, and that makes it possible that you can actually trust that you can apply that to all your employees and still get reliable and data for making decisions that matter. So we chose ECG as a measurement technology. And with Firstbeat Live, we also announced the new heart rate variability measuring device. It's called Bodyguard 3. So it is a small device which you attach with 2 electrodes to your chest, and it measures your ECG and it measures heart rate variability with about 1 to 2 millisecond accuracy. It measures 3D acceleration and uses that for motion classification. It has a battery lifetime about 2 weeks in continuous measurement. It weighs about 26 grams, so basically you forget it when it's attached to your chest and you don't need to pay attention on that. It has a Bluetooth, so as mentioned earlier, it synchronizes with Firstbeat Live app with that Bluetooth, so immediately after the monitoring is completed, the data is synchronized with the app and our cloud, and you get immediately the results of the screening as well. We recommend to make the first recording 3 days so that the Firstbeat Live service has time to adapt to your personal physiology, because we are all individuals with slightly different settings in our physiology. But after that 3 days, you can. It's sufficient to measure just 1 day, or if you want to, you can continue measuring up to 5 days, or even longer if so liked, and that is sufficient. This is actually a great benefit we have found with these 400,000 individuals we have screened with lifestyle assessment earlier. We have found that the adherence from the employees is actually very high, because you only need to commit for a very short measurement period of time and not continuous tracking, unlike some wearable solutions. So this is the target and the science behind the Firstbeat Live. Our target is to be the most reliable service solution for employee wellness and to produce data for decisions that really matter, so that you can trust, you can be confident that you can make right decisions based on right data. And I'm also very proud of our team. We have worked like 2 last years heavily on this solution, bringing the best of lifestyle assessment into the solution and making it also not only the screening tool, but also an intervention tool which has an impact. So thank you on my side, and let's continue with the program.
Thank you, Ilkka. So we have 1 speaker left, and that might be the most interesting one, at least for me as an individual and as an employee. So Tiina Hoffman will speak about how Firstbeat Live supports personal well-being, and she's also going to demo the Firstbeat Live app.
Thank you, Riikka. I'm Tiina Hoffman. I'm an exercise physiologist and master trainer at Firstbeat. And looking at the list of registrants online today, it's nice to see so many familiar faces from around the world. So really great that you are listening to us today. So we're going to take a look at what the Live app actually looks like, and then what types of personalized insights it provides to help the individual improve their own well-being and performance. 3 main themes in the app: sleep, stress, and physical activity. Very familiar from our Firstbeat products from before. Sleep, the idea is to show if your sleep is restorative. That's something that we don't necessarily know what's happening when we are sleeping, but this really clearly shows what's happening during sleep. We know that people sleep on average about 7 hours and 20 minutes based on our database, but only about 60% of this is restorative. So it means that sleep does not equal recovery, and this is something that we are going to be able to look at more deeply. Then stress management and stress factors. The app will show what kinds of things in your daily life stress you or relax you. And this is very different for different individuals. What stresses one person might relax the other one, and we can learn from data and then make better decisions and try to find that elusive balance to our lives from that. 1/3 of people in our database don't get even 1 minute of recovery during the workday, so there's clearly a little bit of room for improvement. And then physical activity is a key part of the result. It guides you to exercise right, regardless of how fit or unfit you are right now. The data shows very clearly from our previous measurements that good fitness is very strongly correlated with better recovery, better stress management. So people in good fitness actually experience less stress. And this is great news in many ways for those who are currently in poor fitness, because the app really will provide some valuable guidance and insights for that. The process basically has already been covered in the previous talks, but just very quickly, you'll have a reliable personal device that allows you to measure according to your own personal preference and schedule. You might want to measure every few weeks, maybe quarterly, or according to some kind of an event in your life that makes you think that now it's a good time to see what's happening. But it's really up to you. And like Ilkka said, after the initial measurement, sometimes just putting it on for 1 day, maybe 2 days, or longer if that's what you want to do. Keep in mind that the measurement schedule doesn't load the HR in any way or the company in any way. Each person initiates their own measurement by themselves in their own time. So even if they were to measure every week, it's no work for the company at all. It's more for the personal insights. And we also have really found that this is a good way to engage the less fit and maybe less confident group, because typically wellness initiatives tend to attract those who are already doing quite well. But because this is a very personal thing that you can do on your own schedule and you progress at your own method and you get your own personal insights from the app, so in that way it's a good way for those who might be a little bit shy of doing other types of initiatives. And then we are going to actually jump into the app, and I'm going to select the latest measurement, which I did last week. It was a 2-day measurement. It wasn't one of my best results, but I think it will make for more interesting insights from that. So this is the home page, and here you can see the Firstbeat Live score, which in this case is fairly good, 64 out of 100 points. It's an overall score that consists of the sub-scores of stress, sleep and exercise. Gives me a general idea of how I was doing. And then scrolling down the screen, I can look at my body resources, which is a really nice way to look at the balance between stress and recovery. The idea is to illustrate how well balanced they were. And in this case, I'll tell a little bit more about my days in just a moment, but you can see that the graph is somewhat declining. It's normal for your resources to be used up during the daytime, but the idea is that they should climb back up during the night. But in this case, there was not quite enough recovery, as the app is telling me, to balance the stressful day. And unfortunately, the same thing seemed to be happening the second day also. So this was a slightly consuming 2-day period for me. And let's go back and have a look at what was happening that caused it to be like that. So looking at my stress segment. So this gives an overall score from my 2 days of stress, 68 points from the first day, and then only 35 was the stress and recovery balance score from the second day. It also shows what was the overall amount of recovery and stress on those days. And here is the first day, fairly good. These things were still looking okay. It shows my graph here and the score, and then if I go into the detailed graph, then it allows us to take a look at what the app actually shows when we are looking at the details of that. All right, so here was my Tuesday last week. Sort of a fairly normal work day. I worked in the morning a couple of hours at home, busy work. Then I took my bike to work. Those 2 blue bars are biking to work and biking back. And then I had otherwise a normal work day, but then I had to switch computers. And the afternoon was spent getting the new computer or online. Some of it was actually a bit relaxing because our support was doing most of it, and I was just sitting and waiting for the computer to work. But then after I come home, if you're looking around 6 or 7, you can see very heavy stress bars. The red bars are really high. That's when I opened my new computer and I realized that a lot of the files had not transferred. There was tons of stuff missing, and it really stressed me out a lot because I had a very busy couple of days ahead with many presentations, and I started going through what all was missing, and I simply wasn't able to turn my brain off that night. You can see that I'm trying to relax a little bit, do some roller stretching, but the stress levels remain a little bit high and even go into the night somewhat. And then the next day is here, slightly different kind of work day. This was a virtual conference that I attended most of the day, listening to lectures. The stress levels are a lot lower, seen in the lower red bars. But also I had a keynote there in the afternoon that caused a slight peak in my stress levels. I knew the day was going to be long, so I took a walk in the afternoon and then continued working a little bit after that, listening to some talks. Maybe unwisely, I ended up having a sauna, as us Finns do, and I had 2 beers, which I don't normally do on a Wednesday, but maybe for demonstration purposes, I tested that. And as you can see, my sleep is not all that great. There was a lot of activation. It took me about half the night before I really truly started to recover. So this just gives an idea that the kind of details you can see in the app, when you keep a journal during the measurement, then you can really learn from those kind of behaviors and see what you can maybe do better next time or try something different. So let's go back to the app and look at a few other insights that we can see from there. So that was stress and recovery balance. And then now I'll share about sleep. My overall sleep score was okay because the first night was still pretty good, but the second night clearly not as good. And then looking at the first night here, you can see that the sleep score was 71. So even if there was a bit of stress in the beginning, the long duration, 8 hours and 10 minutes, helped me still get a good result on that day. But the second night, it wasn't the case. Even if the duration was good, it helped me a little bit, but the overall score is only 35 because it took me quite a while to get into that restorative phase of my sleep. And then under exercise, you can see what kind of physical activity points you get, the overall score from the 2 days and then from each day. And this is interesting because you can see how good points I got by just fairly little doing. I took my bike to work and back about 2 times 20 minutes. And that's kind of the idea, to show the individual that just that 30 minutes of physical activity throughout the day, it's enough to give good health benefits. So it encourages people to do some exercise. Second day, I got about the same amount of points by doing a brisk 30-minute walk in the afternoon. So the idea is to encourage people to get active. And finally, on the front page, I'll show the fitness level feature that we can also get from the app. So if you do a 30-minute walk as part of your measurement period, 30 minutes walking at a steady, moderate pace, then the app calculates the VO2 max, milliliters per kilogram per minute. In my case, I have a background in endurance sports. I've always had good fitness, so my fitness is still quite good. It gives me a good score relative to my own age group. But this is a good way for unfit people to start improving their fitness. All right, and then I'm going to go back to a final slide from the app, but that gives an idea of what types of insights the person can really learn from the app and from the interface, and then how that can vary from time to time. The goal is not to overhaul your lifestyle or make some kind of dramatic, huge changes, but to get personalized insights from and see how even small changes that you make, how they start making a difference in your fitness level or in your ability to get better sleep or maybe some recovery moments during the daytime. So you could eventually find a better balance between the different demands of your life and then sufficient recovery. We are all individuals. What works for one person might not work for someone else. The answer has to come from within each of us, and that's where data can help us get those kinds of answers. You have it in you. Thank you.
Thank you, Tiina. Your days were insightful indeed. And now, if you have any questions about anything you have seen or heard today, so it's the perfect time to type those to the chat box, since we will have a short technical break to bring all the speakers to this stage, and then we start answering your questions. So just a moment, and we'll be right back. Welcome back. We have had really many interesting questions via chat today and also before the event. And now we are trying to answer as many as we have time and we can. So let's get started with the questions. I'll have a look from here. I just take randomly some questions from these. There is a question about the pricing model. So maybe, I don't know if this is for corporate point of view or partner, but maybe both Toby and Anna could answer.
Thank you, Riikka. I can start with the corporate side. So as mentioned during the presentation, the service is a subscription-based service for a 12-month period, and the monthly cost will be around 20 euros per person per month, and obviously for a 12-month period, and that's for the corporate side. Anna, do you want to cover the partner side?
Yeah, absolutely. So as mentioned in the presentation, so we have different business models available depending a little bit if you're a service provider or an agent. So please contact us to discuss more about your business model and options, and we'll go through the different alternatives with you.
Thank you. Then here is a question: is the feedback provided real time or just after days observation? So maybe this is for Ilkka.
Yeah, thanks. So feedback is provided after you have completed the recording. So we don't aim to be a real-time like a wrist-worn consumer device, but rather a pro-level accurate device, which you can basically forget while doing the assessment, and then you immediately after the recording you get the feedback in the app.
Thank you. And then here were a few questions about the coaching. So who delivers it? Is it the FirstBeat coaches or partners? And maybe Tiina, you could answer this.
Yeah, in our corporate models, it would be FirstBeat trained coaches who are providing the coaching. But then, of course, that's going to be worked out separately with partner solutions, where the partner would most likely be the one to do the coaching.
Thank you. Then we also had a question about the consumer licensing business that was used to be part of FirstBeat Technologies, and why it isn't a part of us anymore, and this must go to Joni.
Yes. So the consumer licensing business was acquired by Garmin and in June 2020, and this enables us to concentrate on developing the solutions for the employee wellness and also for the elite sports sector. So it helps us to focus on the growth opportunities in the business-to-business domain.
Thank you. Then here is a question: how is the reporting to companies made? As some individual employees might test often, and others may only test few times, which might impact overall measurement score. And maybe Toby, you could answer.
I'd be happy to. Yes, that's a very good question. So the way the system's been designed is that whether you conduct 10 measurements or 20 measurements, your result in the corporate report will only be represented as one. So it's the average of all those assessments. That way, each employee who's a part of that report will only be represented as one person in the report.
Thank you. And then we have a question: if Anna, if you could clarify which of the partners can start using FirstBeat Live immediately.
Yeah, thanks, Riikka. So that kind of partners who are we call them sales agents. So agents, if you're interested in selling the FirstBeat Live as part of your offering, but you don't have a need for the data. So for your own services and offerings, so that kind of partners can start straight away.
Thank you. And then there is a question about the differences between Bodyguard 2 and Bodyguard 3. So for those who don't know, so Bodyguard 2 is used with a FirstBeat Lifestyle Assessment, and Bodyguard 3 is used with the FirstBeat Live. And Ilkka can tell more about the differences.
Thank you. So the most important difference is that Bodyguard 3 has Bluetooth, so it's able to communicate with the FirstBeat Live app. There are also other differences, like the Bodyguard 3 is slightly thinner and smaller and lighter, so it makes it more comfortable and more disappearing to wear. But the most important thing is really this BLE.
Thanks. Then here is a question that we mentioned that FirstBeat Live using for between 1 to 5 days. But how often do you recommend these cycles are done? Once a month, once a quarter, or what's the right or recommended cycle? Maybe this is for Tiina.
It really is up to the individual. It's a good question, but the idea is that you can find a rhythm that works for you. And once you have established some kind of a baseline, a one-day measurement can provide really, really valuable and important data. So a person who doesn't want to have a device on all the time, or maybe is not interested in getting data every day, they can get the required information by wearing it one day at a time, and then do that every few weeks or every few months, whatever fits them. Whereas somebody else might prefer to choose a 3-day cycle just to get a little bit more wider picture from each week. So it really, I think each individual will find the right rhythm as they start using that, and then they can pick the right number of days.
Thank you. And then there was a question beforehand if Firstbeat Live could work also for sport teams, and maybe Joni, you could answer to this one.
Yes, so Firstbeat Live has been developed for employee wellness, so that's the target use, and we do have another product line for elite sports and Firstbeat Sports, and which is better suited for elite sports. But of course, in the background organization for the sports team, so there might be some use cases for Firstbeat Live as well. But primarily target is the employees and employee health promotion, so not athletes.
Thanks. And then let's see, what should I ask? There are so long questions. It looks like the range of reaction intensity is enlarged in comparison to the lifestyle assessment. Is it so? Is it Tiina or Ilkka who would like to answer?
Can you repeat that, perhaps?
I think it's about the graphs, maybe. And it looks like the range or scale of reaction intensity is enlarged or magnified in comparison to the lifestyle assessment.
Okay, I can take it. So we have slightly updated the analytics as well, and it is reflected in the graphs a little bit. So the scale is slightly modified, but in large the numbers and especially the scores are very comparable. They are not exactly identical, so there are some changes because of the updated analytics, but there shouldn't be very big differences.
Thanks. Then there is also a comment about the person who is asking thought that Firstbeat is not about how heart is performing, but more about autonomous nervous system. And he's asking if this is now a heart or cardiac test. So, Tiina, maybe you could answer.
Yeah, it's still definitely not a heart or a cardiac test. We use heart rate and heart rate variability information to get insights how the autonomic nervous system is working. And it can tell about general health and well-being of the heart, but it's not a test for any kind of cardiac or clinical conditions.
Thank you. Then there is a question for Toby, I think. Do all employees want to participate? Nice and simple question.
It is nice and simple. So we found with the lifestyle assessment that our engagement rates within employees is actually very high, 80% plus. So we're very confident that every employee will want to use this. Obviously, it's not mandatory. But we're confident that it'll be a very popular solution with employees.
Thank you. Then there is a question about corporate coaching and those corporate coaches who have been our service providers or partners and have been using lifestyle assessment. They might be worried that Firstbeat Live is there comes a competition with Firstbeat Live with their own work. How would you access this challenge? So Anna, what would you answer?
Yeah, so as I went through in the session, so we will soon, at the later stage, open Firstbeat Live also for our service providers and those who are doing these corporate coaching services. So you will be able to have Firstbeat Live as part of your tool set. So bear a couple of months. We have to wait still, but soon we can kick off this business with you as well.
Thank you. Then I take some questions from those that we got beforehand. So can I measure my VO2 max with Firstbeat Live? And this is also to Tiina.
Yes, we have the so-called fitness level walk, which is familiar to those who are using the lifestyle assessment, which is a 30-minute walk on flat terrain as part of the measurement. And we use that data, the walking speed and heart rate information, to estimate the VO2 max quite accurately. So all it requires is for you to go out and walk for 30 minutes on a moderate to brisk pace during the time that you are wearing the device. And then from that, you will get the result. One note on that you do need to mark the fitness level walk in the journal. So when you are doing the measurement and you go into the journal, there is a fitness level walk marking there, and it does require, at least currently, that you actually make that marking so that we can do the calculation.
Thank you. And there was also, beforehand, we got a question that a person who is certified in Firstbeat Lifestyle Assessment, and is this service included in his certification? If not, how can I do to become Firstbeat Life certified? So this is also for Anna.
Yeah, okay, thank you for the question. So we will arrange dedicated online courses for Firstbeat Life service providers in the future. So we will inform about this in our newsletters and upcoming webinars, and also in the discussions that we can start straight away. But there will be dedicated online courses available for Firstbeat Life service providers.
Thank you. Then there just came a question that if a company has already done a Firstbeat Lifestyle Assessment, can they add that data to Firstbeat Life if they subsequently sign up? Is it for Ilkka? Yep.
Yeah. So individuals' previous lifestyle assessments do appear in the Firstbeat Life if they have done the assessment with the same email. So email is the identifier there, basically. So in that sense, the older data or the previous data within certain time interval does come there.
Thanks. Then there have been several questions about the possible data sharing or interaction with different wearables, especially those that have Firstbeat Analytics data, Garmin devices. So there is a question that if we are looking possible data sharing or interaction with Garmin or other wearables in the future, maybe Joni, would you like to answer?
Yes. So the primary source of information in this service, it comes from the ECG device, and with that accuracy we get really confident understanding of where the stress and recovery, for example, are. But of course we are also developing the service for the future, and there will be extended possibilities.
Yeah, this is a bit similar. That will it be possible to use Bodyguard 3 on premium accounts together with sports monitor users? So
at the moment, no, but it might be in the future. We are looking at that.
Thanks. Then there is a question that how do you obtain the journal of events from the subject, the user? So Tiina, maybe?
Yeah, so when you are doing your own personal measurement, the app has a journal function, and so you can keep filling the app as events happen during the day, or you can add them at the end of the day, or however often you feel like making some journal markings. And then when you analyze your result, you just click a button in the app to get your result, and then the journal markings will show up on the journal. So there's no real transition or transfer, but it just shows up. Like when I showed that detailed graph in my talk, it showed my journal markings underneath. That was what I had filled in during the measurement.
Thanks. And then Toby, you could tell us that when this will be launched in Sweden.
In Sweden. So yeah. Sweden is a part of our current regions. So the service is currently available in Europe and the UK. So opportunities in Sweden for Firstbeat Life are definitely on the map. I recommend that you get in touch with your representative at Firstbeat to discuss these opportunities.
Thanks. And then there was still ask for a clarification of the technical specification of the EGT, especially the sampling frequency of the device. So Ilkka, you could tell once more.
So our measurement accuracy for heart rate variability is about 1 millisecond. So it equals to 1000 hertz.
Yeah. And there was like a next question from the same person, that does it classify as a medical device as you have clinically approved electrodes?
No, the device itself is a consumer grade. It doesn't have a medical device classification.
Thanks. I had one great questions, but now I lost it, so I take from here the previous ones. Oh yeah, when will FirstBeat Live will be available in the US or Canada? This goes to Toby too.
So the US and Canada is obviously on the roadmap, and we as mentioned in my presentation, we're looking to expand our regions beyond the EU and the UK as soon as possible. So again, I would recommend to be in touch, and we'll look at timelines for that to happen.
Thank you. And you can actually continue, since here is a question about the business model of FirstBeat Live. Will it look like the lifestyle assessment business model? And this person says that he realized that in FirstBeat Live to use, it asks for an activation license.
That's correct. So the largest difference is that with the lifestyle assessment, it's very much a one-off sort of screening-based model, whereas FirstBeat Live is a continuous subscription-based model. And that obviously is supported by the opportunity for the individual to conduct multiple assessments. The lifestyle assessment is still very much a business model that FirstBeat has and will use, but there are certain business cases where FirstBeat Live is more fitting for an organization. So the pricing for the FirstBeat lifestyle assessment is still per assessment, whereas in FirstBeat Live it's subscription based on a 12-month period.
Thank you. Then there is a question about the algorithms, if there has been some amendments to the algorithms compared to FirstBeat lifestyle assessment. Ilkka must be the right person to answer.
Thank you very much. So yeah, we are continuously improving, and there are certainly some improvements. At the moment not seen as new features or parameters coming there, but some of those parameters which you see are actually enhanced versions of what we provide with the lifestyle assessment. So yes, there are some differences, but as said, there's more to come up, and we constantly improve.
Thanks. And I can't find the specific question, but I remember that there was something, some question about the raw data. Is it available for partners or?
The raw data, meaning beat to beat heart rate interval or so on, we don't have data export at the moment yet. It's on the roadmap, also probably available later, perhaps towards the end of next year, something like that. But at the moment, no raw data is available as an export.
Thanks. Now here is a question: what is the expectation within FirstBeat's roadmap for this service to be offered in Brazil? Toby, do you know?
I can take that, thank you. So again, Brazil is on the list of regions and countries that we are considering, and as a business, of course, we pride ourselves with our ability to provide high quality service. So what we need to do is we need to make sure that we fulfill those needs before we open new markets. So Brazil will be looked at on the list, and at this time I can't give an accurate timeline on that particular country.
Thanks. And we have time few more questions, and one is that is it possible to integrate the technology of the FirstBeat Live app into our own branded app?
Yeah, I can take. So at the moment we don't provide co-branding as an option. It's Firstbeat branded app and so on. But we are working with partners, and we I think it's more like an ecosystem where we exchange data with other applications through APIs in the future, and that is more primary option rather than co-branding the app.
Thanks. Then there was a question beforehand that we got. It was about alcohol. So somebody was asking that if he or she is drinking alcohol, does the employer know about it? Tiina, you were drinking some beers, so...
Everyone looks at me since they already know I had beers. Well, firstly, you are not required to list the alcohol in the journal by any means, but it's very useful. You learn more about your behaviors and how it affects your physiology when you do mark it, but it's only for yourself personally. So that information doesn't go anywhere beyond the app that each person has. It's not included in the corporate reporting in any way either. So it really is just for your personal learning. You can safely do that.
Thanks. And thank you. I know we didn't answer to all of your questions. There were so many in the chat and beforehand. But we need to start wrapping this up. And if we didn't answer your question, so don't hesitate to contact us. Visit our website, and there is a contact form that you can fill, or then you can get in touch with your Firstbeat contact if you already have one. And then I just want to thank all of our speakers, and then I want to especially thank you all there. We appreciate you being with us today, and let's continue discussions about Firstbeat Life and have a great day wherever you are. Thanks.